Before we get into the fights, did you end up finding your luggage that got lost on the way over here?
Yes, it got here 3 days after. So, but it's good. It's good. You know, I always get dirty, so I always have some extra stuff in my carry-on. So,
Sure.
but yeah, Mikey Brown wasn't that lucky, so he had to buy everything. So yeah.
Did they find his stuff too?
Yeah, of course. Six pieces were missing, but we got everything. So lucky us. And the funny thing is that our flight got cancelled, the first one. Then we lost our luggage. They lost our luggage, but we're here, you know. So it's good. It's good.
Well, kind of going off of that, how has preparation for this fight camp been? This fight been? I think this is only your fourth 3-round fight in the UFC. So have you enjoyed preparing for a 3-round fight as opposed to a 5-round fight?
It is. There was not a big difference, and same like people were saying that I should get an easy fight. What does it mean to get an easy fight? You know, fight is a fight. It's a cherry on the top of the birthday cake, and the preparation is hard. The hard work is done so many weeks before, and very often people don't get it. And man, I've been training not only like 8, 12 weeks, like the camps usually look like. I've been training for this fight like 4 or 5 months at American Top Team only, you know. And in October last year, I decided to be back. So I started training more and more in Poland because I took a longer break. I had some things to do, to be done, to take care of in Poland. And I couldn't go back to the States, so in the middle of January, I was back to American Top Team and put in hell of a performance, you know. I'm in the best shape ever. Until the end of March, I didn't know I was going to fight, but I was training like I was going to fight 13 times a week, every week. So you can imagine how much of effort, sacrificing, tears, blood, sweat, up and downs I put into this camp, you know, and I feel in the best shape ever. But as you know, it's all about this one night in Singapore, about this one morning, this one fight. So I'm really looking forward, and I really believe that I will feel great and rock and roll. I'm ready for anything and everything. So, but yeah, I'm in the best shape ever, and I know Weili Zhang is as well.
It seems like since your last fight and you took that time off, various interviews, you would say, like, I hope to run that back with her, or if someone else has the title, I'd like to fight them. When she did lose to Rose in Madison Square Garden, did you just assume that she was most likely next for you and you just got into camp preparing for her specifically, or did you actually wait for a name to start preparing for someone?
Big fights only, and big fights only, and she's one of the best. She made it to the league. She was the champ. Me neither. So we made it, you know. And she's the best. Even after her 2 losses, she proved that she's one of the best, one of the toughest in this division. So I know there's lots of talk about another girls who should get the title shot, but there are girls, and we show up. Me, Weili, Rose, and we put on hell of a fights every time, you know. And this is what this business is about, you know. It's not about boring fights. It's not about just fights. It's all about being the best every single time you step there. That's the thing. So I signed a new contract. I'm happy with, but I'm happy to get the fight of the year again, you know, this year, 2 years later.
I don't know if you heard, but Dana White did an interview today, and he said the winner of this will fight for the title next. And I think you obviously said that if you win, you want to fight for the title.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew about that from my last fight, you know, because, yeah, actually, I knew that. So I would not sign agreement for this fight if I didn't know that I was going to be the next after winning on Sunday. So, yeah. I knew that, and I'm not surprised. It's good, man. I feel like we both deserve. It's surprising what happened in the fight between Rose and Carla, but what? It is what it is, you know? It is what it is.
Joanna, how big a difference do you think having this fight at 3 rounds will be from 5 rounds?
Oh, definitely. You know, sometimes the first round is like we read each other. But there's no time to do this, you know. So from the first seconds, I will have to put put in work, and we will have to play my game. I will. From the first seconds of the fight, I will have to do my best. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Was there any conversation with the UFC about making this 5 rounds or not really?
No, I know the fans want it, and there was an idea, but we ended up fighting 3 rounds. It's also because of the 2 title fights, on this card, and yeah, that's okay.
When you think about legacy and you say about putting on the best fights, obviously your first fight was one of the best of all time. So do you think like, okay, I win this one on Saturday or Sunday morning, and then in the future we'll do a trilogy fight and it will be the biggest thing in women's MMA history?
Let's see after Sunday, but when I think of legacy, like yesterday or day before, because I've done so much media, so many interviews, and after Rose lost to Carla, the media went crazy, so I've done really like maybe 40 interviews, 50 interviews with this fight week since last Carla's fight and Rose's fight. But I realized yesterday that next year I will hit 2nd decade from the time I started doing martial arts, and I'm turning 35 this year, I'm old, but I'm like, dude, it's more than half of my life, So when people questioning my break, last 2 years break, I'm like, dude, I've been like, I'm a hard worker, I'm a hustler, and sports-wise, business-wise, I'm a hustler, and I needed that for myself. But legacy, winning over Weili Zhang, one of the greatest, going for the belt, and start defending my belt, the new belt, once again.
Last one for me. Do you think that's something that younger fighters should maybe be aware of, that actually it's okay to take some breaks sometimes and you don't have to go 100 miles an hour for your entire career?
Yeah, I always tell people that you can't never stop, you can slow down, but you can't never stop. So I slowed down. I was training every single day, but I just haven't fought, I had things to do because I'm full of life, full of passion, hobbies, things to do. And I had no time because I was very active, and in the octagon. But, you don't know how much time is left in your life. So I don't want to waste any minute of my life, any second of my life. So I just decided to do things and make them the best way I can do, and get it done. And now I have time to be here fighting in Singapore. But I knew that after this long break, I was going to have to prepare longer. And this is what I've done, with my team, the American top team. And I'm very, very proud of myself, the team, Mikey Brown, Katel Kubis, ATT Nation, all the people. And I'm the winner already, for myself. That's the most important thing, because of the amount of work. But any advice for fighters? Yeah, sometimes it's good to take a break, step back a little bit and look at the big picture. Look at the big picture, because sometimes it gets so narrow, you don't see everything.
Quick question, Joanna. So if you win this fight, so when would you back to the octagon, and what would it be, like trilogy fight versus Zhang Weili or title shot?
Carla Esparza is holding the belt, so she's after I will get my hand raised on Sunday in Singapore, I will go for the belt and fighting Carla Esparza. What's after? I don't know. Like I'm focused on this fight with Weili Zhang, and maybe on another step. I'm planning next step, to fight for the belt, but we'll see. Yeah. Trilogy, I don't know.
Yeah, when would you back to the octagon? If you win the fight?
I would love to be back as soon as possible. It depends on how my body is going to feel after the fight. But Madison Square Garden or Fight Island sound good to me. But I like to plan my life. I adjust my life to what's happening in my life every single day. You know what I mean? Like I have a plan. I like to have a plan. I like to stick to the plan and make work and work for it to make it happen. And I don't know, but for me, winning in Singapore is the most important thing right now. But fighting for the belt at the MSG, where I defended my belt back in the day, where I lost the belt, sounds good to me.
How do you see the result of the fight? You know, the last time you fight versus Zhang Weili is a 5-round craziest fight, woman fight history in the world, seeing the fight. And this time, would you give the decision to the referee's hand?
Of course, I don't want to leave it in the judge's hands, but sometimes, you know, you not always get what you wish for, you know. I wish for knockout, I wish for submission, but it's not that easy, you know, especially at this level where I'm at, you know, and Weili Zhang. So it's going to be the toughest fight in my fighting career, but I'm ready, you know. I'm ready.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Joanna, right here. To your right. Speaking of your future plans, you told me yesterday you want to do the Dakar Rally. Can you explain what that is to people who may not know and why you want to do this?
Dakar Rally, I did my racing debut as a driver, you know. So if I will do one half amateur racing, I will get my pro license, and you know, Dakar race is like, holy moly! The craziest thing is that you can't take shower. You know, this is what scares me because I'm a very clean person. But you know, I love doing things. And back in the day, when I was a teenager, when I was a little girl, I dreamed, for example, about trip to the States, and I was visualizing New York, Manhattan. And I was like, oh, you're never gonna make it, kid. You know, it's too far, it's too expensive. And after so many years, my picture was hanging at Times Square, you know. And so every dream can come true. And now I have all the money. So, I mean, like, the money I haven't had back in the day. So I can really do things I wanted to do when I was a teenager or when I was younger. And I just want to challenge myself, you know. I'm very competitive and I want to challenge myself. I love motorsport and I see myself doing Dakar race. It's very hard race, isn't easy. You have to, the temperature, the climate, everything is so hard, so difficult, but I just love to challenge myself, you know. And it's something I wanted to do for a long time.
When is that?
What?
When is it?
When?
Yeah.
It's every year.
Okay.
It's every year.
Do you
So
know
I
around
need
what
to be
time?
retired because it's also very dangerous, you know. So last time I was before my racing debut, I had like a training, and my car flipped. Flipped, you say? Flipped. It was kind of funny, you know, scary, but oh gosh. So I did test, like, if I really want to do it or it's just my wishy-washy. But I was like, holy moly, it's different than fighting, you know, the emotions and how you have to be well prepared for this. It's amazing, you know. I have tons of respect to all kinds of sports and athletes, but this is amazing, you know. This is what I really want to do.
And we talk about your legacy in this division, in this sport. You haven't fought for 27 months, and only just now, Carla Esparza tied your record for the most wins in the division with 10. And you have still the lead on many other records. What does that kind of show about the work you put in before you took this layoff?
That I was super active, you know, that I was the champ for a reason, that I was very dominant and dedicated, and I'm still, you know, and they can take all the I don't know, records. I will just go there and do my thing, and became the strawweight champ for the second time, and they had there hasn't been born a girl who could tie my record, you know, yet. So yeah, let's see, in the strawweight division, of course.